I would like to have a conversation about how a man with a known seizure disorder had an episode behind the wheel of a car and had an accident. Officers arrived at the scene and he was still in an active seizure. They don't know how to handle the situation, so they accuse him of being on meth and search his vehicle, at which point they find a gun. Concealed carry is legal in the state of Ohio, so if we take of the situation, the gun is not an issue here. He comes out of the seizure and he is so confused. He thinks he's still at work, but he refuses medical attention because he's uninsured and he's already living paycheck to paycheck. Something I forgot to mention on a little bit earlier in the story is he has a seizure card in his wallet. The officers just looked past this. So now that he's out of the seizure, the officers see that he's fine and he's willing to cooperate with them, but they're confused. They don't know what happened, and he's confused because he just came out of the seizure and he hasn't had a seizure in years, so it's not something that he's really considering. If you don't know anything about seizures, this isn't something that you're necessarily conscious for. Like, you're not going to remember anything that happened once you've come out of it. So the officers, being confused and still hung up on the driving, they asked my brother to submit to a drug test, and he's willing to do so because he knows that he doesn't do any illegal drugs. It is legal in the state of Ohio, and you can even get a medical card if you have a seizure disorder. And that's the only drug that he partakes in, so he submits to this test thinking that that's going to clear his name. Well, a month, maybe two, goes by, and then an officer shows up at his door at a random Friday afternoon and takes him to jail. So we get on to look at the booking information, and they've got him on 6 counts, 4 of which are felony charges. So it was 3 different charges, but 2 counts of each charge. There was the 2 operating a vehicle under the influence, which were the misdemeanor charges. And then the felony charges are 2 counts of concealed carry of a weapon, which again is legal in the state of Ohio if we take the drugs out of the situation. And 2 counts of improperly handling a gun while driving a motor vehicle. This all was based off of a positive marijuana test. So tell me how a piss test could possibly be a valid form of evidence for somebody driving under the influence of marijuana. Spoiler alert, it's not, or at least it shouldn't be. A drug that when you smoke it stays in your system for 30 days. Because my brother consented to that test in his half-conscious state of mind post-seizure, he's fucked. He was forced to plea out in hopes to only get 12 months probation instead of 12 months in prison, but is still stuck with these felony charges on his name for the rest of his life. So I don't really know what else to say other than this is your friendly reminder that you're not safe. And they will do anything they can, including ruin or even take an innocent man's life if it means that it's going to benefit their agenda. I just couldn't keep quiet about this anymore, so if you've made it this far throughout the video, thank you so much for listening to my rant, but please, please stop staying silent about the injustices of our society.